Nigerian artists made 60 billion naira from Spotify last year. 60 billion naira in 1 year from one platform. 30.3 billion streams. 1.6 billion streaming hours. Revenue grew by over 140% over the last 2 years. That's a record. That's historic. That's the headline everyone is celebrating. Now let me tell you the parts that no one talks about. My name is Bayo Shola. I'm an entertainment lawyer, the host for Afropop, the show that sits at the intersection of African pop culture, contracts, and power. And today, I want to talk about the money. Not the headlines, the real money. I'm talking about the structural gap between what Nigerian music actually generates and what actually gets back to the artists who produce that music. Let's start with the basics, because a lot of people do not understand how streaming royalties work. So when your song gets played on Spotify, you don't get paid a fixed amount per certain stream. You get paid a percentage of a revenue pool. And that revenue pool, it is determined by how much premium subscribers in that region are paying per month. Let me give you the example. In the United States, Spotify premium per month is about $12.99. In Nigeria, Spotify premium is 1,300 naira. At current exchange rates, that is about less than $1. So when a Nigerian fan streams your song in Nigeria, the royalty that you earn from that stream is being drawn from a pool that is less than $1 per stream. Compare that to if your song is streamed, say somewhere in the UK, for instance, where they pay like $13 to $15 per stream. Now, can you see where I'm going with this? It's the same song, it's the same stream, but different value. That is the structural reality that the 60 billion naira headline does not explain. But here's the question that nobody is asking. Of those artists that are collecting that 58%, those independent artists, right? How many of them are actually registered with performance rights organizations, PROs? Think about it. How many of them actually have accurate and complete metadata attached to their tracks? How many of them actually have split sheets that are signed that shows what percentage of what is owned by who? Because Spotify can only pay what it can match. If your documentation is incomplete, if your metadata is incorrect, if your publishing rights are unregistered, the money is going to get generated, all right. It's just not going to get to you. But then, here's where it even gets more interesting from a legal standpoint. You see that 60 billion naira that Afrobeats generated from Spotify? I can assure you that it's not 60 billion that landed in artists' bank accounts. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. You see, before a single naira ever touches an artist's account, there are a lot of middlemen who take their cut. I use middlemen. They may not exactly be middlemen, just depending on how the infrastructure is. So what I mean is, the distribution platform, they're going to take their cuts, yeah? If there's a record label involved, they will take their cut. And in most Nigerian recording contracts, the record label usually gets somewhere between 50 to 80% of the streaming income. And then the artist now gets what is left. So you see that 60 billion naira that was generated, which is already like from a pool of low value subscriptions, yeah? It gets divided again and then divided again until the artist at the bottom of that contract chain now gets a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what their music actually generated. There's an uncomfortable reality that you guys might not even know. You see, 1 million streams on Spotify translates to somewhere between 60,000 naira to 120,000 naira for an artist. Do you hear that? 1 million streams, 60k, 120k. Let that number sit with you for a while you're still celebrating the 60 billion naira headline. Now, yeah, we haven't even talked about publishing. You see, streaming income is only half of what a song actually generates. The other half is publishing royalties. I'm talking about the composition itself, as money that is generated from the composition of the song, which is the lyrics, the melody, basically the underlying work of the song, not the master recording. Earlier this year, the Nigerian Copyright Commission disbursed 1.2 billion naira in private copy levy funds to rights holders. It was the first time ever that Nigeria ever disbursed such funds under this framework. I don't know if you heard that. First time ever, 2026. You know what that means? It means that for every year before 2026, there has been money being generated, but that hasn't been recouped. Which means that for every year before 2026, there was money sitting in that system, being generated in that system, or maybe not generated, but there was money that African artists deserve that were in that system, but they never got all these years. First time, 2026. Not because anyone stole that money, but because the infrastructure to collect it actually didn't exist. So yes, the revenue is actually growing at 140% over a period of 2 years. But the infrastructure, the financial infrastructure that allows us to collect that money and let it get to the guys who have produced the products that generated all this money, that infrastructure does not exist, or did not exist until 2026. And I can tell you, yes, the music is growing, but the infrastructure for the financial part is not growing anywhere near the same pace at which the music is growing. That gap, it is costing Nigerian artists a lot of billions. So what is actually happening here? Nigerian music scaled globally. The culture won. The sound conquered. 1.3 billion first-time discoveries on Spotify only in 2025. Check that out. That's a 26% increase from the year before. Nigerian artists featured in nearly 320 million user playlists globally. The world is listening. That's not a doubt. But the financial infrastructures, I'm talking about the publishing registration systems, the royalty collection mechanisms, the contract structures, the metadata management, the legal frameworks, basically, none of that scaled with it. And when culture scales faster than structure, someone is going to get paid, alright. It just may not be the right people getting paid. Because the labels, they got paid. The platforms, they got paid. The distributors, they got paid. The administrators, they got paid. And somewhere at the end of that chain, the artist who created the sound, who created the products that generated all these funds, is looking at 60,000 naira for 1 million streams and wondering what the hell happened. So I'm sure that if you're an artist, you'll be asking, so what can you do about this? Well, there are 3 things that you can do about it. First, you have to register with a performance rights organization, otherwise known as PRO, of course. We have MCSN and COSON in Nigeria. You should register with them, because if you're not registered, you're not collecting. It's that simple. Secondly, before you sign any distribution deal, you should actually articulate what exactly is your percentage of streaming income. Not the headline number, the number that gets to you after every deduction. Pay attention to that number, because that's the number that is going to determine your financial future as an artist. Also, thirdly, this is going to sound very cliche, yeah? But you should actually get a lawyer in the room before you sign anything, because a lot of artists do not understand the things that they actually sign, yeah? And your contract is where your streaming future, so to say, is where your streaming future is going to be determined. And one thing that you should know is that you actually cannot renegotiate a contract that you've already signed. 60 billion naira sounds like a celebration, And in some ways, it actually is. The growth is real, the momentum is real, the world is listening to Afrobeats. Nigerian music is doing numbers that may have been unimaginable, say like 10 years ago. But until the right structures are built to ensure that all this money being generated actually flows back to the guys that created the value for it, to the guys who made the song, to the artists at the bottom of this contract chain. Until that happens, we're just going to be celebrating a headline number that tells a different story underneath. My name is Bayo Shola. This is Afropop, the show that exists because African creatives need to understand the structures that are shaping their careers. Subscribe, follow, and share this with every artist that you know, because the boardroom is where this conversation is going to be won. That conversation starts right here.